Do you think that decluttering your parents' home is all about stress and tears? What if it could actually be one of the most meaningful experiences of your entire life? If you are new here, my name's Chris Spade at Keller Williams Realty, and I make all these videos to help you make sense of the real estate market. If you would do me a huge favor, please click the subscribe button. Also, click that little bell so you can be notified every single time we drop fresh new content. And if you found value in this video, chances are someone else did too. Please share this video with them. Now, if you're a Gen Xer like me who is in the process of helping their parents downsize and declutter their home, then this is actually going to be a video for you. So we're going to talk about the steps to help your parents declutter their home before there's a crisis. Now, the first thing you want to do is emphasize with your parents that this process can actually be a lot of fun and can bring a bonding experience between you and your parent. What do I mean by that? Well, you guys are going to be spending a lot of time together, so you're going to want to make the most of it. And because parents of a certain generation, the baby boomer generation, were raised by parents who grew up in the Depression, a lot of our parents have the idea that they can't throw out or waste anything. So this is going to be an opportunity to create those keep, donate, and get rid of piles and go through the items in the house and talk about them and talk about the memories that created them. Now, as I mentioned before, you're going to want to start this process during a period of calm. So now that the holidays are coming up, maybe Thanksgiving is the right time to approach with your parents about starting the decluttering process. By starting the process early, it makes things a little bit less intimidating and gives your loved ones the opportunity to get used to the idea that they are going to be going through this process for a while. Remember, you don't want to tackle this as a project in one weekend, which is why you want to bring up this conversation before you are in crisis mode. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is break this process into very manageable steps. Now, that could be meaning starting, for example, with what is underneath the kitchen sink. Is there too many cleaning supplies, for example? Is there little areas throughout the house that you can go through? I always say, and give the example, go through the linen closet. For example, if your parents have 20 plus towels, do they really need to have 20 towels and 5 sets of sheets? Are they going to use all those? Chances are they're probably not. And those would be good items to go for donation. You could drop them off at a donation site like Goodwill or AmVets. This is just kind of helping your parents get used to the idea of going and getting ready to release some of the bigger stuff in the house. The other thing I suggest is starting to calendar out and schedule small, regular sessions with your parents to start going through the decluttering process. If that is every Saturday for just like 3 hours. Your parents know that from 9 to noon on every Saturday for the next 8 weeks, you're going to be going through this decluttering process, and it's just going to make it a lot more simple. This will lower the anxiety for your parents, and it will prep them and get them thinking about the things that they're going to want to either keep, get rid of, or donate. Now, the best part about doing it this way is it's going to put your parents at ease just in case they have any emotional or logistical challenges that they're going to have to deal with when they go through this process. The next thing you're going to want to do is shift your entire mindset around decluttering your parents' house. Look at this as an opportunity to be spending time with your parents and building an emotional bond. I want you to take this opportunity to encourage your parents that decluttering the house gives them an opportunity to spend quality time with you that you may not be spending a lot of time with each other. So this isn't time for bonding. Also, suggest to your parents that by reframing this from a task or a chore into a more meaningful experience is going to give them the opportunity to be a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more at ease when they start separating with some of their personal belongings. The other thing you're going to want to do is share personal anecdotes or stories illustrating how this time can lead to discovering family heirlooms and stories and gaining some insights into your parents' lives. I bet you there's going to be some things that you're going to discover about your parents going through this process that you didn't even know. The other thing you're going to want to do is utilize this time for connection. Recommend using decluttering sessions to engage your parents in conversations about their lives and their life experiences and provide examples of questions to ask. Ask them certain things about what is the best and worst part about getting older. Ask them things like, what is your happiest memory of the family? What was your first year of parenthood like for you? And here's one you should ask them. Is there anything about our family history that you've ever kept a secret? You might really get your parents to open up and learn something that you didn't even know about mom or dad. By asking deeper questions, it can actually lead to a lot more cherished memories that you're creating with your parents. And again, it just takes the stress out of decluttering, especially if you're in the process of getting the home ready to sell and moving mom or dad into an assisted living or retirement community. Another thing you can do is create rituals around the decluttering process after you've got them all scheduled in your calendar. You can play your favorite music together, or share a meal together, or make a meal together after your 3-hour session is done. And don't forget, take breaks. Take them often, because you've got to remember you can't push your parents through this process if that means getting outside and getting some fresh air for a few minutes and even taking a walk around the block. With the right approach, this can actually be a very rewarding experience, and if you follow these simple steps, there's going to be a lot less tears. If you go into this in crisis mode, chances are there's going to be some animosity, and there's going to be a lot of tears, and there's going to be a lot of anger and frustration. But if you reframe the approach, you might learn something new about your family, you might learn something new about your loved ones, and you may preserve some family stories. So make sure you start sooner rather than later. Comment below if you've started decluttering with your parents in their house, and also if you have a memorable story that they shared with you. Please comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.